In this module, we will describe various terms to describe vegetative characters of plants. For explaining the plant lifespan, we have three terms: annual plants, biennial plants, and perennial plants. Annual plants are actually those plants which require one growing season to complete their life cycle. For example, they have to grow from seed and develop a whole plant and then produce seed. And for this whole procedure, they require one growing season. Example is that of cosmos plant. And biennial plants are those plants which require two growing seasons to complete their life cycle. An example is that of hollyhocks. And then we have perennial plants. Example is phlox species, and they can persist for several years to complete their life cycle. And then we have if we have to explain the leaf lifespan, we have two terms. Number one is deciduous plants. They shed their leaves during the part of the year. For example, अगर कोई बहुत cold area में अगर cold ज़्यादा ही हो गई है तो इसमें they shed their leaves, या फिर dry season में they shed their leaves. Example is that of oak tree. And then other term is evergreen. If the plant remain evergreen or it persists its leaves throughout the year, it is termed as evergreen. Example is that of spruce. And in order to explain the plant habit, we have three terms and even more extensions too. But the major terms are three. They may be herbs, shrubs, or trees. Herbs are actually those plants which are non-woody and they are small in size, and examples are those of basil, rosemary, lemongrass, and oregano. And shrubs are actually woody and they are less than 3 meters in size. And example is that shown here. For example, here it is actually the rose plant. And trees are those plants or plant habit which are more than 3 meters in height, and they are of course woody and large in size. And then we have succulents. For example, cactus. They have fleshy leaves and they have gel-like material inside their leaves. And then we have vines, जो कि इनकी weak stem होती है और it can remain erect or stand still in the year, और या तो ये creep करती है और या it climbs up along with any other plant or any other material, like walls पे जैसे हम देखते हैं creepers grow हुए होते हैं. These are examples of creepers growing upside the house. And then we have epiphytes. Epiphytes वो plants हैं कि जो दूसरे plant पे grow करते हैं लेकिन उस पे parasite नहीं होते. For example, ferns growing on trees. तो ये अपना moisture या फिर water content जो है ये atmosphere से obtain करते हैं. And another one is a parasite, and Rafflesia is an example of parasite plant. Of course, they depend on their host for their various food content and other activities. And in order to explain the stem anatomy, we can look into this diagram. We can see that this is node, and node is a point from where the leaf originates. Here leaf is originating, and distance between one node to the other node is known as internode. So this is internode. And here we can see lateral bud. It is actually embryonic, and it can give rise to flower or shoot. And then we have a flower bud here, and its top bud or apical bud. We can explain stem anatomy in this diagram too. You can see here that this is of course the stem, and this is here it is axillary bud and not actually shown clearly. And you can see here node which is giving rise to the leaf, and the distance between two nodes is called here as internode. And you can see bud here too. So to explain leaf anatomy, we have certain associative structures like stipules, and they are present near to petiole. Here it is fused to petiole, and its function is not clear, but it is known that it protects the developing leaf. So the function of stipule is that of protection. And then we have an axillary bud present near the leaf, and called lateral bud here, and it may give rise to flower or shoot. Then we will see the parts of leaf. We can see here there is a stipule we discussed earlier, and this short branch is called as petiole. अगर plant sessile है तो उसमें petiole नहीं होता. And then we can see that various veins are there, and this whole structure is called as a blade. जो कि उसका leaf का main structure, it is called as actually blade, and at the end it is called as a tip or margin of the leaf. And leaf complexity को हम दो types में divide कर सकते हैं, simple और compound leaf. Simple we have discussed before, and about compound leaf we can see here that it has a rachis, and rachis bears pinna, or pinna are also known as leaflets, and this is petiole actually. And if we see pinnately compound leaf, we can see here that it is a complex type or compound type, but it's simple compound type. It has a rachis, और in turn इसमें एक pinna originate हो रहा है, और actually दो pinna from here. And bipinnately में we can see के एक यहाँ पर in turn आगे से branches बन रही हैं pinna की. And palmately compound are those leaf which looks like palm of like this, like the hand actually. And trifoliate, we can see that 3 leaflets are originating here. And now we will see that how is leaf attached to stem, and which terms are used to explain this attachment. Number 1 is petiolate. अगर इसमें petiole है short, we can see here this is petiole structure we talked about earlier. Then it is called as petiolate. अगर petiole absent है तो उसे हम sessile कहेंगे. And अगर वो originate हो रहा है, यहाँ एक sheath सी बना रहा है यहाँ पर base से, तो of course it is called as sheathing. Now we will discuss leaf arrangement on stem, कि वो stem में किस तरह से arrange हुए होते हैं. If they are placed opposite on a stem, they are of course known as opposite. अगर वो opposite नहीं है, एक leaf यहाँ से petiole आ रही है, एक थोड़ा फासले पे आके opposite side से आ रही है, तो इसे हम alternate कहेंगे. And it may be whorled, कि एक point पे वो एक circle की form में हो सकता है, तो it may be called as whorled arrangement. And other one is basal, कि अगर stem की base से originate हो तो it is called as a basal arrangement of leaf on stem. And then we have different types of leaf venations, and of course different terms to denote those venation pattern. Number 1 is that of pinnate. We can see here कि यहाँ पर single primary vein है, and it looks more like feather. And in palmate type, which resembles the hand or palm, so इसमें we can see that there are more than one primary veins. And in parallel venation, we can see that veins are originating parallel to each other, and mostly the center one is a thick one, and it is called as midrib or midvein. Then we have various leaf blade shapes. We can see here that number 1 is linear. It is narrow leaf blade. And number 2 is lanceolate. A lanceolate is actually lens shaped. What is lens? This is actually a lens. This is weapon. You can see and compare the shape of this lens with this type of leaf, which is called as lanceolate. And this is oblong leaf, and we can see that it is more long than broad, and we have elliptical, okay, which is tapering from this base to the apex. And then we have ovate type, which is egg-shaped, and we have cordate type, which is heart-shaped leaf blade. Then we have different leaf margins. We can see here it is entire, इसमें smooth है इसका margin, leaf margin, and it is called as crenate. कि अगर ये blunt ends हैं but it looks like a teeth, तो it is called as crenate. and अगर regular उसकी teeth like ही appearance है and it is regular type, तो इसे regularly tooth कहेंगे. और अगर इसकी appearance teeth like ही है लेकिन it is irregular, तो it is obviously called as irregularly tooth. Then we have undulate type, कि इसमें folds are not regular. And then we have lobes, इसमें blunt ends हैं and it looks like a lobe. Then we have a leaf without hairs. It is called as a glabrous or a smooth type. And if hairs are present, then it is called as pubescent. Then there are various special features. For example, thorns, which are a modified stem, and they are woody. And then we have spines, and these spines are woody and they are modified leaves. And then we have prickles. We have observed these prickles on a rose plant, and they are non-woody. And then we have tendrils. They can be modified leaves or modified stems, and they can grasp or pick out certain substance and उसको surround कर लेते हैं.